So today we're going to be in the shop. Um, I bought this little fireplace last winter, and I am going to install it in the shop here. There's the fireplace. I'm going to put it in right here. I've got to build this up. I'm going to build it up with 2x6s, frame it all up, and then I'm going to do a kind of an adobe mix. I'm going to take mud and straw, mix it together, build this up, and then do a rock hearth with these rocks that I got from the lake. So I figured I'd take you along and see how it goes. Alright, so I had some scrap lumber left out of the solar array. So I just built this frame. And now I'm going to put down some plastic on the floor, run it up the sides to hold the moisture in while the mud and all dries. And I get that anchored down and get ready to get started. So here we are. I've got it all framed up. I got it screwed to the floor, got plastic in so that when I put the mud in, the moisture doesn't absorb into the flooring. All right, now I'm going to get my wheelbarrow and get some mud and some straw, and I'll set up out here and get it all mixed up. I'll get back with you. So I got my mud, and needless to say, I am not lacking in the mud category anywhere in our yard. So I got it, and instead of using the straw that I have that I use for my chickens, I just raked up some grass that's been cut. It was long. And I just use it instead. You just mix it all up. Bugs are starting to come out. Man, the bugs. I'm gonna have to go get a mosquito hood. Y'all give me a second. Alright, so when I got my mosquito hood, I got the mud and straw mixed up. Yes, it is probably wetter than it should be, but I just used the mud that I had in the yard. I already had water in it, so It'll just take it a little longer to dry, and it may crack up, and I can come back and fill back around. I'll leave it a little bit low and come back and fix it later. But I grab my shovel and start putting the mud in. Actually, see if I can dump it in there. Or at least get it a little closer. So I'm grabbing my concrete float so I can move the mud around. It was up in the loft. Sorry. Stepped on the camera coming down the ladder. Alright. I'm going to need more mud, but I can get started with some of these bigger rocks and then move that mud around a little bit too. Got some big ones and little ones. I use the little ones to fill in around some of these bigger ones. Drop that one in a little too hard. Yep, I'm gonna have to go ahead and get some more mud in here. Mud's moving a little too much. So I'll go mix up some more and I'll be back with you. Alright, so I'm back. I went ahead and got the second batch of mud mixed up, dumped it in. I went ahead and took all the rocks out because by the time I got back, they had already settled down. And I had a little more straw mixed in with this batch than the last, so I was mixing it all together in the hearth frame. So okay. I'll go ahead and press those down in and get it leveled up. And then I can move some of the mud around that's going to be too high, and then get my other smaller rocks filled in around it. Bring my wheelbarrow back up here. All right, I'm going to keep working this down and I'll get back with you in just a couple minutes. All right, I got it kind of leveled down, smoothed off. I'm going to take this piece of plywood and I'm actually going to lay it on top where the fireplace sits, so I can make sure that the fireplace is set nice and level. So I'm going to press these in. I'm going to lay some rocks on it just to keep it pressed down. Keep some weight on it till it dries. All the extra rocks that I had. I was going to make it a little bit bigger, but then I shortened it up there at the last minute. All right. Okay. Now after this mud dries up a little bit, I'll come back and clean it all up and take some more mud, fill in any cracks when it starts drying, and then get it all cleaned up, be able to clean the rock up to where you can see it. So we'll let this set for a few days, then come back and see what she looks like.